Welcome everybody to the Spurs 9501 podcast post-game analysis. This is going to be a big one. We're analysing the Liverpool game. I am Cam in Florida.
I'm in Connecticut. Jam in Connecticut here.
Good. Terry, introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, Terry from Vermont. Here, there you go.
Yep, upside down, Terry.
There we go. Okay, now we got it.
There we go.
To there. Let's turn it around. We're going to have a look at Terry's
there we go. Very nice.
Vermont Spurs scarf.
Beautiful.
Terry is the official member of the Vermont Spurs supporters group. So welcome, Terry. Nice to have you here. What I'm going to quickly do is just read out the team because I think the team news was very interesting. And then I'm going to quickly read out the stats. And we're going to have a chat about the team lineup, what everyone thought. Okay, so what we started off with, Lloris in goal. Good to see that. We had Emerson on the right, Sanchez, Dyer, Davis at the back, and Sessegnon on the left, which was a bit of a surprise. And the midfield is probably the biggest surprise of all. We had Ndombele, Winks, and Dele. And up front, we had Kane and Son. And on the bench, which I thought was interesting, we had Reguilon, Rodon, Lo Celso was on the bench, everyone. Bergwijn, Tanganga, Mora, Skip, and Austin. There was no Højbjerg. Let's hope he's not one of those non-vaccinated players that everyone's going on about. Let's hope he got vaccinated but just sick. So there was no Højbjerg. We can presume that that's probably one of the COVID victims of the break. So just quickly, going back to the stats, interesting stats, really. Spurs 44% of possession, Liverpool 56%. Apparently, they had 18 shots. We had 9. First thing to see it, we had 5 on target. They had 6 on target. We had more corners, 6-4, and on fouls we were more or less equal. 12 and 11 each. So, just to kick off, guys. Terry, what did you make of the team selection?
The team selection. Well, I think like everybody, I was surprised to see Dele in the starting lineup. However, I think there maybe was a hint to it from Conte earlier in the week when he said the circumstances going into the game were going to give players an opportunity to show their quality one more time. And so when I heard Conte say that, I immediately did say to myself, I wonder if that means we'll see Dele in the lineup. And I mean, the lineup was kind of a real guessing game before, kickoff because of the COVID situation. If it was going to be even stranger, a starting 11, I wouldn't have been surprised. So I was like, okay, we've seen a lot of these guys starting, in an 11 before. So let's do it.
Oh, so it wasn't. I mean, yeah, I agree with you there, Jam. What was your take on the lineup? What's the shock to you?
I was extremely surprised. I mean, I was expecting a change lineup, but I was mainly surprised because, most of our starting 11, other than Højbjerg, were either on the bench. They were, on the team today. So I think it's more than just the COVID thing. That there's clearly been some tactics, something. Conte's a smart man, so he planned for this match, and I don't know. He must have seen something from Dele and Winks because they showed it today, and they deserve their starts. So, in Conte we trust. Let that continue.
Absolutely, I think that's a very good point there, Jam. I mean, that's the first thing to say is to say in Conte we trust. I mean, that was an amazing. I mean, as soon as he put that team out, like you said, I thought, well, he's seen something, and this is an opportunity for Ndombele and Dele to show what they're worth. But before we kick off and talk about the first half, let's just have a quick chat about who you thought after that performance 2-2 against Liverpool, which, let's face it, we all thought we were going to lose handsomely, right? The way that Liverpool have been playing, they've been scoring freely 4-5 goals here and there. We expected a tight match, but, in the bottom of our hearts, we probably thought, if we get turned over, it is Liverpool at the end of the day, and we are only just coming back. But who would you say was your man of the match, Terry?
Wow, I don't know. I mean, Winksy was incredible. I mean, I think he had a great game. He might be a contender. If I'll go with Winks, to be honest. I mean,
I think that's what I expected you to say.
Yeah.
Jam?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a really tough question because there's a lot of good performances today. Another, understated performance from Dyer, who has been so consistent in keeping that back line like organized, and his passing of the ball at times was just him to Dele Alli today was like, 2015, 2016, and it was like it's beautiful to see. But man of the match, that's tough. I think I'm gonna go with Winks too. It was like, for someone that we've given so much stick to, not just me and this group, just the full Tottenham fan base have given Winks so much crap, and he's fully deserved it at times. But today was phenomenal. I haven't seen that player play before. Who was that?
Who else deserves, I think, a little credit and also gets a hard time was Sanchez. That guy, he had a great game.
Well, I totally agree with you. So what I'm going to say is that I think that we're not managers for a reason. Conte is one of the best managers in the world, without a doubt. And he knows how to get the best out of players. And that's what I think that he's shown today. I mean, we were all sitting there, including you, Terry, even though we haven't seen you for a while, but we all had the same list of players to go. At the top of that list was Ben Davies, Harry Winks, Sanchez. We'll talk about the others later, but particularly those three. And those three have become rock solid. It's interesting how nobody's sitting here talking about Davies, even though I thought Davies was at fault for the first goal. He should have cleared the ball. He didn't, and then they got the chance. So, but he's been rock solid. But Winks, I mean, is probably the most transformed player, along with Dyer, under this new system of Conte, as he likes to call him, Winky. But he was incredible. I mean, he was like the Tottenham Perlo, as I would like to say. I mean, he
definitely was.
Or the old Roy Keane. I mean, he intercepted, he broke up play, and his forward passing was sublime at times. I mean, long may it continue. Can it continue? I mean, that's going to be the key question, isn't it?
I think part of his forward play really worked because of Liverpool's tactics and their attacking ways, and it gave him room to spread it out. Also, I mean, Son wasn't great today, but his running was, his position, he was dragging their defenders everywhere. And I think, not having Van Dijk on the team definitely made their organization a little not as organized as they would like to be. But
we didn't have Højbjerg, we didn't have Romero, so
we didn't. I would have loved to have Romero in that team today. I feel like it would have made a big difference. But it was a good performance. It was a top team performance.
I think what really impressed me with Winks, his defensive ability. I mean, he's I think always a good tackler. Today, he was able to make those tackles and transition us onto offense quickly, and he was so quick to see the channels, and he just really. He was seeing those long balls, like you said. Sonny was making those runs, creating space, and he was seeing those runs from Sonny, and Harry, and Dele, and I think maybe once Ndombele made a run too, and he was just so quick to get the ball off his foot and into the attacking lanes. I mean, it really made a difference for us.
Good. And I mean, I think the other player that I really want to talk about before we get into the details of the match was actually Sessegnon. I was actually quite worried when Reguilon came on for Sessegnon. It actually panicked me because they're going to make a mistake and they might get back in it. But I thought of one of the players that I've given a very hard time to in the past, who hasn't lived up to his potential. Definitely Sessegnon. But the last 2 or 3 times I've seen him, would you say that he's ahead of Reguilon now, Jam?
I like his physicality. I like how he's clearly someone who's played in the Premier League before and knows, the English game well. So he's also he looks bigger and stronger than Reguilon. So, he gets stuck in there. He's not afraid of a tackle. So I think he brings that in terms of difference. I think they're similar in terms of their playing style. They're both a little better attacking wise. I think Sessegnon's probably a better dribbler than Reguilon, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy to have both of them. I don't know who's better at the moment. I think time will tell still. I'm not
Terry,
sure.
What's your view on this, Terry?
Well,
how did you think he did first? How do you think Sessegnon settled into the structure?
He impressed me today. I thought he was great. I was a little nervous, just because he doesn't get a lot of starts. He's still really young. Nothing against him, but I thought he was very disciplined in his defensive positioning. I think he had to contend with Mo Salah a lot of the time. And he held his position. We had a bank of 5 a lot of times when we were defending, and his position there on that outside, flank defending, I thought was really excellent. It gave us width in our defense, and he held his own. And he, didn't make a lot of bad mistakes with the ball. A lot of times he was conservative and just cleared it out. I thought that was fine. And he did get forward. I'm not going to put him ahead of Reguilon not right now, not yet. He's got to play like that 2-3 more times in a row. I think to earn a winning spot. And I do think Reggie's a little bit better at getting the ball into the box when he gets all the way down in the offensive, third.
But personally, I would put him. But my view is I would like to see him ahead of Reguilon going forward, at least for now. I was actually quite nervous when Reguilon came on because he's defensively. What we didn't want them was to nick it in the last second. I mean, you whether you like it or not, Salah had one of the quietest games I've ever seen him have. But it takes just one chance, doesn't it? Which then moves on to, we're going to talk about the game, of course. We'll talk about who you didn't like later on. But let's talk about the first half. I mean, the intensity and the way that we played the game, we let them have the ball quite a bit early on. We sat back, but they didn't really look like they were doing much with it. Jem, what was your take on the first half? What did you really like, the way that he structured the game, how we went about it?
I was happy to get a goal within the first 15 minutes. That was really nice. And Ndombele getting the assist. I don't think he played badly in Ndombele today, but I don't think he did. He could have done more. But as far as the team tactics, it was great to see. Like, we were prepared. We knew Liverpool were going to come and try and play football and give us a lot of room behind their defenders, and we exploited that every single time. Long balls over the top, the fast runs from Dele and Son, and it was excellent. It was excellent. I loved seeing it. I loved seeing how aggressive we can play while playing a defensive tactic. Counter-attacking football is all about defense, because otherwise they're just going to score. And Conte has transformed the team in 6 weeks. It's mind blowing that these are the same players that Jose Mourinho had to work with.
Completely. Terry, here we go. We've been off for 2 weeks. We come in, we got Liverpool, we're expecting to be overrun. I mean, they've been scoring freely, scoring for fun. And then, we see this performance in the first half. What do you think?
Well, I think it was one of the NBC commentators was talking about the fact that we hadn't played in 2 weeks, and our level of intensity was going to be an important factor right from the beginning of the game. And I thought that was an interesting point to make. And our intensity was up. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, that's a relief. We looked eager to play and to win and to win the game. And that was important, I thought. And then, but the missed chances, I think really kind of is the big, not just and that might have been. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. This is how I like to put it. Being the supporter that I am, is say, okay, that's what the 2 weeks off, how the 2 weeks off hurt us. In our ability to be clinical in front of the goal. Just losing out on that rhythm and that regular playing, because our intensity was there. But, when we get those kind of chances, you got to put them in, especially against Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very, very well said. I'm going to talk about those chances. I couldn't believe how many chances we had. It's so hard to actually try and quantify it. The ones that spring to mind for me are Kane's miss, Son's miss, and Dele's miss. And I'm just talking about the first half here. Son had a ball that kept pinging into him. Yes, it pinged into him, but you'd have thought a player with his quick feet and a way like that would at least maybe get it on target. On target, that was a goal. Dele's, I don't know how all right, he did get a hand to it.
That was a good
he did
save.
get a hand to it. But, wow, I mean, how he missed that. And then the pass that Delhi did to Kane, where it was basically almost an empty net, and he allowed it squared it, but he bobbled it towards the goal, and if he'd hit it properly, that would have been in.
If that had been Dele Alli had been playing, I'm sorry. If Dele Alli had been playing the last few weeks and had this kind of, confidence going into this match, he would have taken a shot himself instead of playing it across the Kane. So it's good to have him back. I think with every match, there's going to be negatives and positives, and I wish we could have scored them, but we didn't. So I'm still happy with the point against Liverpool.
Terry, what were you going to say on that?
Basically, just going to agree with you, Jim. And I think had we been playing more, had been Dele Alli been playing more consistently in general, he would have taken that on his own maybe. Or when it got crossed to Kane, I think Kane should have just put his foot through it. Like it looked like he tried to dink it over the keeper or something.
Smashed it. The old Kane would have smashed it.
The old Kane would have smashed it right in. You know what I mean? And I think the decision for Dele not to shoot perhaps was
because he's got Kane coming in.
Yeah, because he's got Kane coming in, but he's lacking the confidence because he hasn't been playing a lot, he hasn't been scoring a lot, and Harry Kane hasn't really been in form either, and the old Kane I think would have just smashed it right through the keeper.
Yeah, well, I mean, good points there. So, and then suddenly we go and concede a goal. Jem, do you want to talk us through that goal? Well, let's talk about the Spurs goal first. You want to talk us through the Spurs goal?
So I only saw the highlights. I didn't see the full build-up play.
Talk us through the Liverpool goal.
I'm trying to remember why they scored that first goal. Who scored it?
It was Jota.
The header.
Get the first goal with that header. So basically, really nice I'll talk you through the first goal. I mean, my view was the ball came in. There were five of us there. Got to Davis. Davis tried to pass it rather than kick it out of the area. Went to a Liverpool player. Cross came in, I think, from, was it Robertson? And pinged right onto Jota's header. It was an unstoppable header that went right into the corner. I think we had chances to clear it. There was a couple of errors there. I would have thought that we would have, with all the chances we had, it was pretty disappointing. Terry?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen tighter marking, when Jota was making his run in, and because I think it was Davies that challenged for the header, and I think he positionally could have been could have been tracking him tighter and then read the pass better. I would have liked to see that. I mean, but it wasn't. We didn't give up a soft goal. I mean, you gotta say that. I mean, it was a really good header.
It was very good header. I mean, we face it. Liverpool are going to get chances, and that's going to happen. Jam.
I think that there was a Sanchez error, in my opinion, because he was dragging everyone out. He was all over there, like up on the right wing. He tried to run back from the right wing back into the box, and then stood right in front of Jota as he was getting there for the header, which He brought Dyer out to the right where Dyer should have been the person marking Jota in the middle, and it was unfortunate. I don't think a player like Romero would have been so out of position to drag everyone else around. So I mean, this is one of Sanchez's flaws. You say he played well today, and he did, but I mean, I saw a few mistakes from him just through lack of concentration. I saw some excellent tackles from him too in that first half. He came in and made an exceptional crunching tackle right as someone was about to shoot.
He did, yes.
So you take the good with the bad, as I said, but I would say Sanchez is still not our he's a good backup centre back.
So the controversy in the first half then was it a sending off? Should Harry Kane have got a red card, Terry?
Well, when I first saw it, I thought, nah, that's okay, yellow card maybe, and then the replay 2 or 3 times in a row, seeing it, I thought maybe we got lucky and probably,
deserve a bit of luck, don't we?
A little bit of luck there, maybe. Yeah. But, to beat a team like Liverpool, I think you need a little luck, sometimes. And, you're going to have it in the game anyways, no matter what, even if luck's part of the game, and so yeah, maybe we got lucky there. But like that was one that you could see kind of going either way, I thought. But the Robertson one, I mean, I think that's a red card every day of the week.
All right. Jam, you agree?
Yeah, absolutely agree with everything Terry said. I think what was most telling is, how the commentators here in America, at least, were all like, "Oh, that Robertson one, that's maybe a 50-50. I don't know about that." But that Kane tackle was an absolute red 100% of the time. And it's like it's a reverse of that media speculation where, like, outside of the UK, maybe they look at the English players as like that they're protected by the referees, you know. And that was a lot of the talk, and the reason maybe Kane didn't get sent off because he's England's captain. You know, they know him; he's a good guy, whatever.
Complete rubbish. Yeah,
it is complete rubbish. I think so too. I think that Robertson challenge was 100 times more a red card than Kane's one. I would have understood if they got a red, but I wouldn't put them in the same bracket.
Yeah. But let's go on then. Go on, Terry.
One quick thing for me, another distinguishing thing between those two calls is. Royale took the ball off of Robertson, right? And he got him a little bit with his studs, you know, but there was no foul on it. And that's then immediately afterwards, Robertson.
It was a reaction, bad reaction.
So that's a huge difference. You know what I mean? It's a huge difference.
Kane was genuinely trying to get the ball. You know?
Yes, and it was a hard foul. Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the other bits of controversy then. I thought the biggest controversy for me was, I mean, you know, Liverpool had a penalty shout in the first half. We definitely had a penalty shout in the second half. But I suppose, you know, let's agree that they negated each out. You know, they were half shouts and neither got a penalty. Fair enough. But what about that Mo Salah handball? What's going on there, guys? Jam? For the second goal?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen it. They've been called...
It wasn't even reviewed.
It's so
by
flimsy.
VAR.
It's so flimsy. Apparently it was. We didn't get a video though, but apparently our VAR review's over. I mean, it came right after the penalty claim from Dele Alli. I think that was. Yeah. I mean, that could have been a penalty. I don't know why, but beyond that, like you said, with Salah's
both hands on his back, didn't he?
I don't understand, man.
When you're running, you're out of balance, whatever.
And it's not even about the hands. The feet. The feet. He tripped him up. This like got a little clip on him. I think. I don't know, man. I think that Salah goal should not have stood. I think that was a clear handball, and that was that handball every day.
Terry,
go ahead, Terry.
I want to try to go over how that occurred. That was when Kane got the ball. He's got his back to the goal. He turns. He kind of gets the ball out from under his feet and gets a shot, right? And then I think the keeper makes a save, and then that's when it came in and hit Salah's hand. Is that right?
No, the ball, as far as I can see, the ball hit one of our players. It was in the air, crossed over, and sort of Salah tried to head it down, but actually armed it into the path of one of their players. Basically, there was a couple of moves after that led to the goal, but that was a critical
I think this was even
move.
before. It was before Lloris even punched it out. Before that little cross came in.
Yeah,
so it was the movement when the first cross came in.
The view is, though, you know, if you have any build-up, I mean, again, typical Spurs.
If it didn't touch his hand, the ball wouldn't have fallen the way it fell, which at the end of the day is the rule. So it wasn't intentional, you know. He doesn't.
So they got a bit of luck, ping pong in our area again. We seem to get that. They get a bit of luck. When Liverpool get a bit of luck, you must have thought that the game's all over now, right? Especially since we didn't take our chances. Harry Kane had 2 chances. Just before that, I believe. One was a header from about 2 feet out, and one before that was a clear-cut opportunity again. I think was it almost an empty net. So, you had to take on Alisson, and he got beat again. He couldn't beat him, and there could have been 2 more clear-cut chances that he had. So he missed those. Then we're at 2-1. What were you thinking then, Terry? And take us through what you think, how we reacted.
At 2-1? Well, when it was 2-1, I was feeling, of course, very pessimistic, you know what I mean? And I'm just like thinking, okay, you know what I mean? Like we came out energetic, you know, we got a goal, but it's Liverpool. And so, you know, what were we expecting? We thought we were going to lose, you know? And then, you know, we got lucky again, you know, on the with Sonny's goal, the second one, you know what I mean? Because that was keeper error, you know what I mean? Yes. And you know, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, not a lot of big mistakes.
Well, he made so many big saves, didn't he?
He made so many big saves, you know, but like he does play up so high. I mean, he really is a sweeper keeper, like in the true sense of the word. Like he's not afraid to just play the game like almost on the 18-yard line practically. You know what I mean? And he got it all wrong, and we got lucky there. And it's just funny. Like what I'm thinking of right now is how much we're talking about the luck that we had, and how unlucky Liverpool was. But because starting this conversation, I was thinking, well, what's going to summarize this game for me was the missed chances. That really was it. If we capitalized on those chances, the scoreline could have been so different. Maybe it would even have been 4-2 or 5-2. Who knows? But maybe luck was a bigger component of this game than being unlucky with our finishing. I don't know, but there are two factors for me that are really kind of the bigger picture with this game. I think is the luck that we got, and the fact that we were so bad, when we had our chances.
Mm-hmm. All right, Cam, what was your take on? Talk us through your take after 2-1, Sonny's goal, and then after the sending off. I mean, should we have attacked more? Because it seemed like we had more chances before the sending off than afterwards.
So yeah, 2-1. It was it gets worrying. You start to think same old Tottenham is going to happen again. Same thing. We've been here before. We tried so hard. We worked so hard. We put in all the effort, and you're gonna drop the points at the end of the day. Fortunately, it didn't work out that way. And I think, even though internally I got anxious, the team didn't give me anxiety because they picked themselves up. Their head was up. And it's funny that from all the clear-cut chances that we got, we get the flukiest of goals. 99% of the time, Alisson's going to stop that ball getting, he's going to intercept the ball before Son gets it. So it's nice to get some luck. We've needed luck for a long time. And I think the performance in general was excellent. If we can play like that against the other teams in the league, we'll win more than we lose. So,
yeah, good point. I was going to say that, we put maybe a bit of luck. They had luck with the Salah's goal and the handball. We got a bit of luck with the Alisson making a clear mistake, but there was no handball involved. So I think that, their first goal is all goals normally you can trace back to somebody's error on the pitch. So I'm not calling that luck. I'm calling that part and parcel of the intensity of the game. However, what I would say is, on balance, we probably deserve to win this game, didn't we, Terry? I mean, rather than 2-2. I mean, I know you're very happy now with the 2-2, but let's face it, with the chances and stuff, wouldn't you say that Spurs shaved this? Well,
I think almost anybody is going to be happy, coming away with a point off of Liverpool. Could we have won the game? Yeah, we could have. I don't think we should be disappointed. I think I do think this draw is gonna give us a lot of momentum against. I think we have West Ham coming up on the 22nd in the middle of the week, right? That's gonna give. This game is gonna give us a lot of momentum, I think, and a lot of positive energy. Even though we didn't win it. All right. Now, I mean,
I want to just
go, Jam.
Touch on that. I think that Conte should be instilling the fact that we should be disappointed we didn't win this game, because this is the big teams that we want to be facing and competing against in the league. And we need to beat those teams to be competitive with them. And we were there. We were at their level today, Yes. I know they had a few players out, but so did we. And we should have won that game. I think throughout the next week, Conte is going to be telling them you should be disappointed about losing that, about drawing that as a loss.
Well, let's talk what we need to talk about. I know before we wrap this up is obviously Antonio Conte. I mean, this is now becoming more and more Conte's team. One of the things I do like is that we've gone from 3-point lane to more of fortress White Hart Lane. I mean, 5 games now. He hasn't lost a game yet. When we did go down 2-1, I thought, how would Conte take losing his first game so early on? But he didn't lose. Pretty impressive so far. 3 wins, 2 draws. 2 draws against, first game, of course, against Everton, and then today against Liverpool. And like I say, he would be disappointed that we didn't win this game, and he did set it up so that we could win this game. I mean, how can you quantify already the impact that Conte is having on this team, Terry?
Oh, I certainly can't quantify it. I mean, But you know what I do wonder is if Nuno really was not the right fit, and
Yeah.
I mean, right from the beginning, and it was the right change to make. You know, I do think so. To change the manager, and thank goodness we got who we did. We got Antonio Conte. I mean, quantify it. Don't ask me. But is it legitimate? Is it real? Is he improving the team? Yeah. I think you got to say yes. The attitude, the camaraderie, the spirit, the desire, you know, the commitment to play for the manager, to win for the manager. I think that's there. Before, it never ever was. I don't think the players ever had the confidence of Nuno.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
The club has the aspirations that were beyond the level of Nuno. I think,
Yeah,
and I don't mean that in any kind of bad way, but he wasn't a champion.
He was not good enough. No.
Yeah, and so it was a good change, and I think it's a real, you know, you can't dispute the fact that he's making a difference for the team.
Yeah, Jam. Back to you. Obviously, you know, one of the things that we've got to say about Conte is he loves his double training sessions. The team look fitter. He's really brought in all these physical fitness coaches. He seems to be forcing them to work harder. Tactically, he's probably the most astute manager, one of the best managers in the world, as we know, if not tactically one of the most astutest managers. And we've seen him, you know, whether it's at Inter, whether it's at Chelsea, whether it's at Juventus. I mean, he knows, or at Italy, he knows how to structure teams to be his opposition, and he seems the most obviously so intensely involved in every kick. How do you feel now that having seen that Conte, the way that he's changing this team?
I mean, like a few weeks ago when Nuno was still in charge, maybe a couple of months now, but there were moments when we were playing against, you know, I don't want to say mean things towards these other teams, but not as good opposition, where we couldn't string together passes. Like, I mean, literal simple passes across the pitch to someone in the middle who's completely open. The ball wouldn't get there. You know, I don't know what that is. Like your leg's not strong enough, or you just don't want to do it. But today we're pinging the ball around, tight intermittent passing against Liverpool, who's like, you know, Liverpool, they've been one of the best teams for the last 3 seasons. They've been exceptional and not just in football, at the type of football that they play, the counter press, where they attack us high up. And we were pinging it around in our defense, working the ball out. It wasn't all forward, knock the ball up, knock it up to Kane, knock it up to Son. It was interplay in the midfield and in the defense, and it was phenomenal. It was beautiful football. We played really well today against a really good team. And
I think you summed it up very well there, Jeb. What I would say is, and you made some very good points about how the team is and the difference that we see. One of the things that I always used to horrify me from Mourinho's time onwards, and a little bit of the time with Pochettino, is how we used to crumble in the last 20 minutes or in the last 40 minutes. We used to be headless chickens. We were just, every team looked like Barcelona. They were just attacking and attacking and attacking and attacking. And we're holding on for dear life to a 1-0. And we're holding on to something. I don't know how many games Mourinho lost in the last 10 minutes when we were 1-0 up and got a draw or whatever. Never feels like that under Conte. We never feel like we're a bunch of headless chickens. We seem composed. Yes, some mistakes. Yes, teams will score. Yes, you know, you're going to concede. I mean, Liverpool are a top team. They're going to get chances. Everyone's going to get chances. But that constant headless chicken and inability to hold the ball completely and just hand it back and just boot it anywhere and have an attack after attack on you, I don't see that. We see some structure and we see some composure, I would say, in the team, as well as better technical ability. So that's, for me, that's what he's bought. Right, guys, I mean, final thoughts on the game then, Terry. What and going forward? What? I mean, happy, I presume. Very happy.
Expecting more. You know, really, and because we showed, you know, that we do deserve to be among, you know, the top 6. You know, we're fighting for 4th place, and that's where we deserve to be. I think we need to be in that conversation of qualifying for Champions League next year. And I think today's game proved that we are a legitimate contender for that number 4 spot. I think I'm going to say, not having played in 2 weeks was a factor in our ability to capitalize on our chances. So hopefully those cobwebs will be dusted off, for our midweek game. And I think we can take a lot of momentum, a lot of positive thoughts and feelings out of this tie with Liverpool and use it as momentum and get a win out of our next game.
Mm-hmm. Jamal, your take then, your final take of the game. How do you feel? What's your views?
I'm very optimistic, very happy with the result. A big picture, I'm very happy with the result. You're looking at it, through a looking glass. It's I obviously wish we had won, but I think this is going to be huge. It's going to be a big stepping point. We got some good fixtures coming up. Liverpool, last time we played, we had 3 matches before Liverpool, and we were like, okay, we can amp up to get to Liverpool, to amp ourselves up to get to this stage that we were at today, and I think we did it without those matches. So that's really, really exciting. So now we need to go on a run. We need to go on a big run, big winning streak. And, this is the time to do it, Christmas. We've got so many matches coming up, and hopefully they get played,
Mm-hmm. So my take then, give you my take. I think the thing is exciting, very exciting. Conte could do it with those players. If he could get Ndombele to play half as well as he did today, even though I don't think he was still up to the scratch, and get Dele performing like that, which none of us would have expected, that in itself is pretty much of a miracle. It's already a miracle worker. Can you imagine when he brings in 1 or 2 signings, what he can do then? If he can do this with this team, imagine what he can do when he gets his team out there. That's what I'm really excited about. I want to see Conte's 11 out there. I don't think it's really our position to say we should sign this person or that person. I think this is the first time I've ever felt that I can completely trust the manager to know how to win and to do the right thing. And I think today, his team selection, his improvement of Davis, of Winks, of Dyer, even Sanchez, Sessegnon, Ndombele, and Dele, who all were absolute no-hopers, 3 months ago, to become regular first-team people, means that we as Spurs fans can finally trust the manager to just get on with it and start winning us something. That's my take.
Yeah. Hey, Cam, are you expecting a lot in the January transfer window?
I think that all he needs is 1 or 2 players that will just move, wherever he feels he needs to put them in, and get somebody in to help cheer up the midfield, maybe move somebody on. But he's going to, sky's the limit with this guy. I mean, he's a serial winner. He doesn't know how to lose. Mm-hmm. That is about time that we had it. I mean, we had a great manager in Pochettino, but Pochettino didn't know how to, he wasn't the finished product. He couldn't win anything. This guy doesn't know how not to win. I mean, and the one thing that I always thought when we were 2-0 down today, this is Conte won't accept this. This was just not good enough for him. We just won't accept it. It just won't happen, And it's been it's like with Pep or with Klopp or with Ferguson. They just didn't know how to lose. Even the teams are losing, they always found a way to push, make that last push. Whether it's whatever you want to call it, to make sure that team, that they get it back. They just do not know how to lose. And it's about time that Spurs had that manager. Let's hope it takes us forward. Yes, bye, guys. I'm going to wrap it up now. I think it's been a great chat. Look forward to the next game against West Ham. What's your prediction for that, Terry?
I'm going to say, we get the 3 points. I'd like to see a clean sheet. Harry Kane gets a goal. We take the 3 points, 2-0.
Right. Jem.
West Ham's going to be exciting. It's going to be a real good match. I'm hoping we beat them. I always do. So 3-1, I'm hoping.
Great. Well, Conte's talking right now, so I'm going to go and rewind that. Listen to it.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to say I think we need to beat them easily. I think that we probably will concede 1 maybe, but 2-1 I'm going for. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Good.
Come on, you Spurs.
Good result today.
Thanks, guys. Good talk. Wrap it up. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.